Hey everyone, this is episode 61 of Noodle Time. Welcome back. Here with me is, I'm going to say it one last time for the episodes, or rather the show's history, the biggest Sam Laity fan out there, OSG. How's it going, sir?
I'm his biggest fan now because he doesn't represent nobody but Sam Laity. So yeah. I'm the biggest Sarah Lowdon fan.
That's for sure, 100%.
Yeah, but man, it's obviously no Dynamo, no Dash this weekend, only Dose. NFL football's back. So that's been going on. Premier League was on international break, so we had Hector Herrera playing for Mexico. You had Coco playing 2 games for Panama. Xavier Valdez for Dominican Republic, but he didn't get to play. He didn't. He just made the bench, so he didn't get to play. Some 40-year-old keepers taking his playing time away from him. Texas soccer. I've been going to those games since they're free to get in. For those of you who listen to this who live in Austin, it's free to get in. You just got to get down to the campus, and they're a pretty good team. They're pretty fun. So I went to see. There was a game today against Gonzaga. Today being Sunday as we record. But, God, that game was tiring to watch. There was no midfield whatsoever in that game. It ended up being 0-0 for the Texas scoring the most goals in Division I right now, and Gonzaga scoring the third most goals in Division I. So it's crazy to think that the final score was 0-0. But that game was just back and forth. There was no midfield whatsoever. It was tiring to watch, but amazing how it's still 0-0. But yeah, so I'm enjoying that soccer, and now I'm ready to get back into game week mode. And as Houston's back at home, and Dash will be on the road on Friday, Dynamo at home on Saturday, and then Dose's final home game on Sunday. So I'm ready, man. I'm ready to get back into it.
No, yeah. Just going back to what you said about Texas soccer, like college soccer is just magical. Like it's its own thing that sometimes doesn't make any sense. Like even the timer on the scoreboard goes backwards, which is just insane.
No,
And
yeah.
there's even a countdown, so that's just crazy. But
Oh no,
it's
I
its
hate
own
that
thing.
countdown. I wanted to tell that dude was like, it was 0-0 and Gonzaga was pushing today at the end of the game, and they're in our box and he gives the countdown 10, 9. I'm like, shut up,
Yep.
bro. I don't want them to know that the clock is about to run out and they take a shot and score. Like, shut the fuck up. And then, sorry to interrupt, but speaking of, man, I can't stand the Austin Samba, the band that's there, and it's not even a band; it's a drum line or whatever. There's no rhythm to their friggin' they're obviously playing beats, but there's no vibe. There's just nothing to get you to move and get you to want to even like tap your knee or beat the bar or the railing or the chair next to you or anything like that. I'm like, y'all shut up. Y'all suck. Like if I was a player, I'd friggin' throw my water bottle
No,
at him.
yeah.
Like, stop playing. Y'all aren't motivating. It's like sorry, Austin Samba, but y'all are not motivating. I can't stand it. I followed the friggin' leader out of the game, yeah, Thursday, and I almost walked up to him and I wanted to tell him, say, hey, bro, like, listen to this playlist, and it's the El Bation playlist on Spotify. I was like, just like play some soccer. Just some like didn't even do "Let's Go Texas" with the drum line or anything. Like come on, like something, bro, something. I was so annoyed. But yeah, sorry to interrupt, man. Go back.
No, yeah, yeah. I was gonna say that through this weekend, like I was able to catch some of the Rugby World Cup, which started last week, and I don't know anything about rugby, but I know for a fact that it's like a much better form of American football, just because like the play never stops, and it just keeps going, and it's not like 2/3 of the game. It's not commercials, it's actual play, and it's way more manlier. Like people, they don't have like armors or just like helmets. They just go for it, which I just found insane. But yeah, I'm just watching it casually now and trying to understand the rules. like game by game.
Yeah, I'll never understand the rules of that. Just like half of hockey, I don't understand the rules. But rugby, bro, those are just bodybuilders tackling each other, and they, like you said, no guards, no pads, no nothing. They just going at it. Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah, it's insane. I like to watch it more, but yeah, that's been my weekend so far. I know, yeah, as you also mentioned, Dynamo and Dash off this weekend. We just came out of watching Dynamo 2, which they came out with a 3-1 victory on the road against Portland Timbers 2, which we'll get into in a bit. But first, we're gonna get into the Dash right now because a couple of news items happened over the week, and they're pretty big. And from the hint that we just mentioned early in the episode, uh, the Dash parted ways with Sam Laity, and at least that's the official the official wording in the release. And yeah, it's the thing for me about this announcement. It's kind of as of the timing itself because we're 4 games. There's 4 games left in the schedule, and this late in the season, I feel like on one hand the club gave Sam Laity a chance to still prove himself, but in the other one, I feel like this is a position that the next interim coach, who we'll get into, Sarah Lowdon, she's gonna have like a lot of work to do to savage, or like at least like do the difficult thing here to like at least savage a playoff spot. I don't know what you think, OSG.
No, first off, obviously, I'm harsh to say happy with the termination, but I'm definitely happy with the termination. It totally makes sense. Um, I mean, let's just say that they listen to this pod and they know that we've been begging and complaining, and Sam Lady's stubborn and he doesn't make any changes to his tactics, and he plays the same way every friggin' game no matter what, and he's not making adjustments, he's not doing things different. And I'm sure Jessica O'Neill and Alex Singer were probably getting frustrated at the same time. They probably told us, like, dude, you need to do something, you need to do something, you need to do something. And he just absolutely flat out refused, bro, refused, losing 1-0 again to San Diego, like we reported last week, and then just and so the firing now is a benefit. You know, some people say, why do it now? Why not just wait to 4 more games? Well, one, uh, you're not winning. You're not doing nothing. You're not scoring. You do have 4 games left, so there's still 12 points out there to get. There's 6 points out of the playoffs, so you're not out of the playoffs yet. You're not eliminated. Sarah Loudon could bring something different to the team, and also they said that they want to have a hire by early November, by the beginning of November. So that technically gives them just under 2 months to go out and shop. You can't shop whenever you have a head coach. Now that you don't have a head coach, you can go out and actually talk to Foxtrot and be like, hey, I want to interview you. I want to talk to you. Are you the man for the job or the woman for the job? So it's fitting. The greatest term I think someone uses is this was Apollo Nagamura moment. Dude had no tactics, and it was time to go. Time to friggin' go. Did a great job with the friggin' defense all year. Did a great job. Best defense in the friggin' league. Absolute worst offense in the friggin' league. So goodbye, Sam Laity. Sorry, personally, very likable person, very likable coach. And they also made that clear that it had nothing to do with actions towards players or anything like that. It was just straight was not getting the job done on the field. So you got to go. And goodbye and good riddance. Sarah Loudon's got 4 games. Everybody loves Sarah Loudon. She'll be the intern. I'm sure she'll have an opportunity to interview for the coaching position, but it sounds like that's not the direction that they're going to be going in. They're going to be looking for somebody more experienced in the head coaching role. So I can't tell you what names those are going to be. I got one that we can talk about, and I'm going to say no. But it'll be interesting to see where we go and what we do because, I don't know coaches in the women's market as far as NWSL and maybe somebody overseas and all that good stuff. So it'll be very interesting. But the timing was right. Maybe could have been done a little earlier, but it is what it is.
So yeah, and And the announcement for Sam Laity leaving the club was made, if I'm not mistaken, it was back on Wednesday, and the interim announcement for Sarah Lowdon was made on Friday, like around the afternoon. And but even then, like we were fully expecting Sarah Lowdon to take over this team, at least in the interim, because she's been in the coaching staff, like even before Sam Laity joined the coaching staff, and she has the knowledge of the team. So it seemed like a no brainer, honestly. But the way that the announcement was worded, like even though the door's open for Sal Loudon to take over as head coach eventually, depending on the results, it also sounds like they could be looking at other options as well, like depending how things go. So the main thing for me is obviously I wish Sarah Loudon the best, because she deserves another shot after taking over the dash, in a pretty tough situation and putting them in the prime position to help them get into the playoffs early last year, before Juan Carlos Zamora took over. And I know, yes, so credit to her, and I wish her the best, honestly. But that's and like I said, I wish her the best for to like yeah, just be the head coach like permanently.
And yeah, speaking of that, she may not be ready to be the head coach personally in her own regard because all the hard work that she is doing behind the scenes. Well, I guess it's not really behind. Like if you follow her, like I do on Instagram and on Twitter, you see all the hard work that she's putting in, and she's working on her work. I call it your coaching degree, your coaching license. She's just. It seems like she's just taking all these classes. She's doing all this thing. She's doing all this. So one, it could be she's not ready for that role yet. Person in her personal life, So but like you said, she is well deserved of the position if she can earn it. She's proven it. She's going to have 4 more games to prove it again, and just make statements these last 4 games. And you know, I I would only assume she gets an interview no matter what, even though they said it's not the direction that they want to go wouldn't be under her realm. Technically, she was a head coach, and even though it was interim last year as well. Now she's again. So just the MLS or head coaching experience was the big notch that I took out of Jessica and Alex's press conference, saying what they're looking for, what they want to do. But Sarah Loud's just putting in the work, and she's doing every single bit of it. And there could be a promise behind the scenes, like, hey, Sarah, once you're done with this, if things pan out, you'll be the head coach one day. Just got to make sure it pans out. Whoever comes in could do wonders, and then is here for the next 10 years. Kind of like Sam Laity was the assistant coach for Oil Rain for 10 years, which was crazy. So I think he had 3 different head coaches. Well, the same one twice, and then he was a head coach for half or for one season, I think it was. But it'll be interesting. And someone mentioned that they hope that this person becomes the head coach. And after doing a little research and looking at it, I'm like, hell no. But U.S. Women's National Team just fired their coach, and I do not think she's a fit. I feel like we'll be in the exact same boat. A defensive coach that refuses to attack, and it showed obviously in the World Cup. And I don't need that here with the dash. We
Oh, you're
need
talking
to,
about Black Girl, right?
yeah, yes,
Gotcha. No,
yes,
yeah, that I watched the Women's World Cup, and man, it was I felt angry watching those games because the women's team had like some of the best players in the world, and some of those players are just like very offensive minded players. Like they can just like do whatever they want, really, and you just see that talent just wasted on the field in most occasions, which was just sad to see because the U.S. got knocked out, for those reasons, essentially, like in the knockout stage, and it was just sad because they are way better than what they look like.
yeah, for sure, bro. So that's why I say we need to go in a different direction than her. Too. Don't know if I'm not saying that she just is an option. Just I don't think we even need to waste our time interviewing her. Move on to the next one. Find somebody else. Like I said, I don't know who there could be or who the options are, who's available, blah blah blah. So you know, we'll see. We'll see what direction it goes. They got two. They got 2 months according to their timeline.
Yeah, and the other piece of news that happened for the Dash, it's the transfer of Ebony Salmon to Aston Villa. Um, we were kind of chatting about this before recording the episode last week, but it kind of seemed weird that she wasn't, uh, or rather, she didn't make an appearance against San Diego without a hint of like injuries or anything like that, and just reading a little bit more of context after the fact is that the Dash kind of had to do that because her contract was set to expire at the end of the year, and I don't think she was comfortable with staying in NWSL as far as I can tell. But yeah, she was transferred with for an undisclosed fee back to England. She'll be playing at Aston Villa alongside Rachel Daly. So we've heard that story before. Um, and yeah, like I don't know how to feel about this one because I felt like this season Ebony Salmon wasn't as utilized efficiently like last year, which definitely like sucked big time. But obviously, goals having our biggest issue this year.
The lack of goals. You're right. But I was kind of, so like you said, she didn't travel with the team to San Diego. She stayed behind. She wasn't even on. She didn't even travel with the team at all. She stayed behind. She actually went to the Dose game on that Sunday and was in the attendance and sat down and watched a boy and the boys. uh, but I kind of said once they fired Lady, I was like, oh come on, Sam, can we convince you to stay now? But I mean, we knew the agent was in England and was already working, and it was just a matter of time before the announcement was made that she was going to be gone. So we felt 2 plus 2 equal you're gone. So Lady just messed that one up. And if I was her, I wouldn't stay in the NWSL either. I mean, look what Louisville did to her. And then she comes to the Dash. She has a friggin' stellar couple months last season, scoring 9 goals in the second half of the season. Just friggin' killer. And then this year, she doesn't even really see the field that much at all. I mean, she got her chance, but she's playing in a different position, and just the no offensive style of play from the Dash at all. So I'd be happy to go back to England anyways. She was left off the English national team for this back half of the year as well, so that had a factor into it too. I would say going back to England, she does want to play for the English national team, and now she's going to play next to Daly, who is on the English national team, and she wants to be there as well. And so I'll be watching Aston Villa a little bit on the side now when WSL starts here on October 1st. I only know that for a fact because I watch Man City women play as well. So I'll make sure to turn on an Aston Villa game and enjoy that a little bit. I think it's on Paramount if I'm correct. Might be Peacock, but whichever one.
I
So
think I think they might be like in like a different service, unless I'm mistaken. Because if it will make sense if Peacock had the rights, but or I think actually it might be Paramount Plus. I have to double check on that, but yeah, all the best for Aston Villa. They have all of our Dash players, or at least they're trying to get all of our Dash players, which I guess is nice. They should do like some sort of partnership
yeah,
so
I
we
was
can
gonna
like
say,
ship
bro,
players. That would be pretty cool,
send us something back, please.
right? We need some help.
Yeah, it,
uh,
it is. It is on Paramount.
nice,
So
nice.
obviously, I'll be catching those games on Paramount and check and see how Salmon does over there. Like I said, they don't start till October 1st, so she's already in Austin Villa, so she's already in camp. So that gives her 3 weeks to prepare. So there shouldn't be anything keeping her from getting playing time in that first game. So it'll be interesting to see, and I hope she does well. And just so I can shove it back in Sam's face.
Oh yeah. And just
Yeah.
one more thing before we move on to the next topic. I feel like with this news and obviously Sarah Loudon coming back to take care of this team in a short span of time, I feel like with the time that she has spent with the team this year, she has a fairly good grasp as to how she wants to apply the tactics, because it's gonna be a tough stretch for her, because the three of those four games are gonna be on the road, and it's gonna be it's definitely gonna be like a massive test for her, or at least like try to see where this team is standing right now, because we've seen it all year long. That they're very defensive, or efficient, very efficient when it comes to that, but obviously things have to be adjusted to in the final third, because we're getting those opportunities, but the goals aren't there. But I guess my question is, like, how do you feel she might approach like this final stretch of the season?
Well, I mean, she's gonna approach it with let's go score some goals. So I think she's gonna be attack minded. And she kind of showed it last year that she is a little bit of attack minded. So my biggest curiosity with her is who's going to be her starting 11. So that could be the difference. Obviously, I I, I I think it's the midfield is where the biggest question will be. And does she leave Jacobs in the center back, or does she put Prysock back in the center back position? I kind of hope it is Prysock. No offense to Jacobs. They're actually good friends with each other anyway, so they should root for each other on. But I think Jacobs just makes too many mistakes sometimes that could be costly. Uh, and Prysock's been back there and been Katie Lynn's partner since she's been here, so that'll be one question. But the midfield is where the other questions could be. How's she going to use it? I don't think it's going to be the. I don't know if it's going to stay the double pivot with Vigiano and Schmidt. Maybe she has Schmidt as the lone six, and then make some 2-8s. Kind of like the Dynamo play. A little different with the wingers, but kind of like the Dynamo play. So it'll be curious who she puts as the other two midfielders. I think the top three are pretty obvious in Sanchez, Ordonez, and Prince. And yeah, and then the back four are obviously going to be pretty obviously, of course, with the question of uh, uh, Jacobs and Prysock. So we'll see. That's my biggest curiosity. With what Sarah will do come Friday at Louisville. Which, speaking of Louisville, before we go any further, they lost the NWSL Challenge Cup Championship yesterday to North Carolina Courage 2-0. I tried watching it, but it took 6 hours to play.
Yeah,
and,
like
and
that was annoying. Obviously, the weather delayed definitely messed things up, but
yeah,
yeah, that sucked. But it's also sucky for me, because it was a competition that we crashed out of, and I was upset by that too.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that's more of my personal take on it, so it doesn't really matter.
No, no. Just had to mention that was the final. It happened 2-0. Blah blah blah. Yeah, they messed it up by starting the game, and then the storm hits 10 minutes into the game. Like it was pouring all morning, and then they screwed it up. Whatever. As long as they got the game played, they 2-0. So Louisville's coming off a loss. We're going to Louisville this weekend. We got a brand new coach now. Not really brand new, but we got a different mentality going into Louisville. Like you said, 4 games left. We're 6 points out. So I mean, we have to win. We have to win, and I don't know if we have to win all 4, but we definitely have to. We definitely have to win these next 2 for sure, just to see what happens to those other teams that are above us and around us.
I mean, win out. It's I know it's a hard ask, but we gotta win out. Like, we haven't won a league game in 3 months. We have to win the ones we have left, because the league standings are not looking good in our favor as of right now. But hey, if we win out, we'll have to worry about it. So,
Watch us score
guys,
13 goals in the next 4 games, which is one more than the 12 we have all season.
yeah,
Watch
that's
us.
that's when Sarah Loudon stays as a head coach. But yeah,
Oh yeah, friggin' hell yeah! I'll sign the
yeah,
petition. I'll start the petition and hire Sarah Loudon. Hire Sarah Loudon. But
yeah.
let's let her do her 4 games. Let's see what she got and see if she can change this team, because we do believe in the talent that's on this team, and we do believe that we can score. We can score goals. Just can she translate it onto the field, and can the girls execute? Because it's going to be a different style of play. That'll be the biggest thing. different style of play. So look for something different on Friday. So stay tuned.
Yep. Well, looking forward for the dash. Please win, so we don't have to worry about that. But speaking of winning, Dynamo 2 actually won a game. um,
Woo!
they finally snapped the losing streak of 4 games, and they beat Portland at Timbers 2, 3-1 on the road. Come on, man! Like, okay, they're I guess they're pretty decent on the road, but I'm just kind of salty that they have to be like this at home. But anyways, they got it done on the road tonight, and obviously it was a West Coast game, so late kickoff as always. But I'm definitely happy with the performance, especially that second half. Massive performance by Andrew Pannenberg. Like you mentioned it early in the episode, Xavier Valdez missing for national duty with the Dominican Republic, and Andrew Pannenberg stepping up big time. 6 saves. But you have to see the second half. Like he blocked like 3 or 4 goals. Like he could have easily. This game could have gone bad, like very badly, like a classic Donado second half this year, which it happened, and I was afraid of that. But like Andrew Pannenberg was just like on top of it. Like he was just like on his toes the entire second half, and I think it was my match MVP.
Mine
But
too.
yeah, it's yeah because Diego Gonzalez obviously that free kick goal to get his 10th goal of the year, insane. But no, man, that second half was just like pure Andrew Pannenberg.
Well, bro, the like you said, seven saves or whatever. 26 shots from Portland, only 11 from Houston. Even though it felt like Houston was the better team, but the second half was a completely different story. 26 freaking shots, dude. 7 on target for both teams. 10 blocked targets. 11 shots inside the box. 15 shots outside the box for Portland. They were just taking blast after blast after blast after blast and just making us friggin' work, dude. It was crazy. And like you said, 6 keeper saves. And you said he was on his toes, but bro was in the air. Bro was
Literally, just floating. Yeah,
yes, bro. Like I was like seeing him make that one free kick. I mean, it came straight to him, but he had to friggin' fly, and he punched it. It was going in, and he punched it over. Then that header that came in late, the like with a couple minutes left in extra time, he had to fly and keep it from going in. And then a bunch of shots were straight at him, but those aren't always the easiest. They knuckle, they hit the ground right in front of you, and they usually deflect out and the other team gets another chance to score. And so, man, Panenberg just showing that he's a great backup to Valdez, and good job for that kid. I agree with you, player of the game. Even though Diego got the goal and the assist, he kept us in the game, and we probably won the game because of him today.
no, yeah, and the big one for me was just a penalty, like
Oh yeah.
because yeah, Charles Augusto like definitely like he got that late tackle in, which definitely looked like a penalty from where I watched it, but like that was a big one because like Portland was gonna get the second goal, and I was like, okay, here it comes, and
Mm-hmm.
like Pannenberg just denies him, like, but it wasn't like an easy shot to save because he went all the way like Andrew had to like die for that one, and those are not easy, especially like if you put it like at the in a low angle,
It wasn't a
But yeah,
great
just
penalty
happy for
shot
Andrew.
either. It wasn't a great shot either. Like that dude he just tried to place it in the corner. He didn't take a shot. Like so Panenberg guessed right correctly as well. So Panenberg did his job, and you just kind of felt you're like, oh no, can't give up, like you said, can't give up that second goal. And then would have been like 12 minutes to go or something like that, and you're like, Jesus Christ, here we go again, 3-2.
Yeah,
Ah, man, we need 3 points. We can't be doing this, man. No. But yeah, great save. And uh, Auguste, man, I was saying Bundy needed to sub him out because of that yellow card, and that he had a couple other tackles that he could have been yellowed for again. So, but he didn't. He made it through the game. We didn't get a red card, and we were able to hold on tight and win that game, and it eliminated Portland from the playoffs and put us back into 6th place, which is 7 make the playoffs. So we're right there with 40 points, and with two games to go, man. 2 games to go. But like you said, brother, the score and Diego Gonzalez with that rip on that free kick, like those are just hard to stop. It was from the middle of the field. You don't know who's taking it because Ndoye was right there too. So is it the right-footed Diego or is it the left-footed Ndoye? So the keeper he that was just a rip, bro. What a great shot, bro. What a great shot.
No, yeah, it this had to be a win, as I mentioned earlier today, because like I don't want to win, I need a win
Yeah.
because of this exact situation, because we're now just above the playoff line by 1 point, and we're currently contesting the the last three spots with St. Louis City 2 and Minnesota United 2 and San Jose Earthquakes 2. So I believe San Jose is the last team currently out of the playoff spot in eighth place by 1 point. So, and with 2 games to go, I'm just gonna say what I just said about the dash. You have to win all the games. Like, guys, as long as you win out, you don't have to worry about anything. So please win out, and especially against North Texas next week, because I'm gonna be in that game, and we have to win.
And North Texas has been eliminated from playoffs, so they have literally nothing to lose, so they can play however the heck they want to play and bring it to us, and it's a rivalry game at the same time. 4 teams have clinched in the Western Conference, so that leaves 3 teams, 3 spots to go. Like you said, St. Louis is 3 points above us, and we're tied with Minnesota for sixth place. San Jose with 39, sitting in eighth place, and Vancouver's got 33 points in ninth, so I'm going to call them out because they're 6 points behind, and there's actually they should be out. They're 7 points behind, so I don't know how. And Portland technically had. I don't know how the heck that works. It doesn't show them
I
eliminated, but they have to be eliminated.
I did refresh the standings. Vancouver and Portland are eliminated.
Oh, okay, good. Let's do
So
that
yeah,
too then.
we're fighting for the last 3 spots right now, which
Okay,
are so.
yeah,
But yeah,
four
just
teams
just win
fighting for
out,
three
guys.
spots. Just yeah, dude, win, just win for sure. And you're playing North Texas, like I said, who's eliminated at home, and you played well against North Texas all year. And in the end of friggin' season, though, we got friggin' LA Galaxy who whooped our butts 4-0 at home just a couple weeks ago, and so and they're eliminated as well. So this is going to be tough. And Caps back against North Texas. We went to North Texas and tied 3-3, but won on PK 6-5. And then back here at home, we won 2-1. So capable, obviously, of winning both games. But like you said, we have to go out and get points, man. Have to go out and get points, and so we don't leave these guys out. Lampman with a friggin' beautiful goal. I think it was came off a corner kick and the ball got kind of pushed around and I want to say it was Ndoye if I remember correctly. He put the ball across the middle of the box and Lampman was just right there and just finished the goal, make it 2-0, and that was the halftime score. And then friggin' Isaiah LaFleur coming off. Now I know that he's probably crushed right now. Salmon's in back in England, so he played well though. He played very well as that kid does every friggin' weekend, and he got a friggin' goal 3-0, and then like you said, Portland came up and get that goal later and just started fighting, bro. Just started fighting. They were pushing and pushing and pushing, but uh, the team looked really, 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 really well today. They always press well. I think that the difference today was the team chemistry. They were more in unison when they were pressing together, and it wasn't kind of like shambled all over the place where people were out of position and getting caught off guard, and we were getting counterattacked. Like that's what happens to us this time. The team was in better unison, and it was very nice to see. And even though Portland just kind of brung it to us here in the second half, that last end of the second half, but proud performance for the boys. I know Kenny Bunny's happy, and he's probably having a good press conference right now.
Yep, 100% agree. Oh, but yeah, that was definitely short conversation that we usually have. Obviously, 2 teams being off this weekend definitely changes things, but Still lots to talk about. Mostly just coming out of the dash, but obviously just coming out as optimistic soccer people after watching that Dynamo 2 game, which was one of the nicest ones of the year for sure, because we've had to come out of those games very unhappy in some occasions, but I'm happy with like how the boys played, and with 2 games to go, man, please win out.
Please
I'm,
win out. You're playing your last home game this coming Sunday at 5:30. So against North Texas or South Oklahoma, whatever you want to call them. So guys, if you haven't seen Dose this year, even if you have, this is the game you need to go to. It's the last one of the season. It could be the last opportunity to even see him because where we are in the playoffs, it looks like we're going to be a road team throughout the playoffs. So we won't have another home game. We won't get another chance to see him. So go out and see your Dose play. They're at Sabercat Stadium on South 288 in South Houston. So, if you live on the other side of Houston, I guess, well, you're a little out of the way, but it's a Sunday, so traffic won't be bad. Get your butts there, and come say hi to Foxtrot. Come say hi to OSG. Herman and Juan will be in the press box, so they may not be available to say hi to, but and come out and say hi to the Surge members that'll be in attendance as well. So get your butts there, and we'll be there having fun. I do not know if there'll be a tailgate, so we'll just follow us on Twitter and we'll post it if there is going to be one, so if you can get there early. I may be there early just to party in the parking lot anyways and see how many people I can get to go there. So we just may do a impromptu tailgate. So we'll see. You never know. So
there better be a tailgate.
we'll make one. We'll start one. Shoot.
Yeah. No, but yeah, guys. That's gonna do it for this one. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. And stay noodle.
Edges up.